cultivate, and among that 60 to 70 species they are cultivated commercially. Only 10 are cultivated at the industrial scale. Am I audible, Anupma? I'm
Yes,
there.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yes, yes, fine.
okay. Thank you. Then history of mushroom. Mushroom history of mushroom is as old as the human history. Even they are mentioned in the Bible as a food of heaven. And Egyptian, they were very fond of mushrooms. Only pharaohs or rich people they were allowed to eat it because they were meant for the delicacy. And even they, that is known as food of gods also. The name mushroom that came from the Greek word mycos, and mycos that came from the Mycena dynasty. Mycena dynasty, they were very fond of mushrooms. They were obsessed with it. Even they have the shapes of their building, tombs, and wall paintings, ornaments. They were all things were also of shape of mushrooms. Even Aryans, they were also very fond of mushroom. They used to drink somras, and that was prepared from the Amanita muscaria, and it was a delicacy. Then you can see the paintings on the stones that is of mushroom shape. Then Netherlands is known for its best quality of spawn and best quality of mushrooms, and there is an amusement park. Then all of the amusement things they are of the shape of mushrooms. That is very fascinating. In even in the fairy tales, we can see the shapes of mushroom or mushroom shapes buildings and features and characters. It's very fond of to the children's also. Then previously the mushroom used to be grown in the caves. Button mushroom was the first mushroom that was cultivated in actual auricularia, was the first mushroom, but cultivation was of button mushroom, and French were the first to grow the button mushroom in caves, and later on oyster and shiitake were grown at various places. And this is the shape of typical mushroom. All are aware of the shape of the mushroom, as we can see button shape. It is very common in the market. This is the cap part, stipe part, mycelium, and the gills part. Then why we grow mushroom and eat mushroom? Why to grow? Growing of mushroom, or especially pleurotus, I am discussing here about the pleurotus. Why we grow pleurotus? Because pleurotus is grown on substrate that is waste left over after the crop. We are growing so much crops as wheat, paddy, sugarcane. There are so many crops we are growing, and the waste left over after the grain separation, that can be used for the growth of mushroom. So we can use that waste, leftover waste, as a growth substrate for the mushroom, as farmers used to burn the leftover. That can solve the problem of pollution also. And the spent left after the growth of mushroom, that is known as SMS, substrate, mushroom substrate spent surface, that can be used as a soil fertilizer. You can add it in the soil, then it increases the fertility of soil, and soil health is also improved. And that can be used as a fodder also. Animals can feed it, and even spent substrate can be used in the poultries also. That is also a good alternate for fodder. And the mycelium, that is, can be used in oil spill absorption. In when there is a oil spill in any ocean, then mycelium can be used, and it has a capability to absorb the oil. And even these days, green leather is also formed with the help of mycelium of the pleurotus, that is known as green leather, and it is also in pipeline. So many things can be done, and main thing, it can generate employment for our young generation. Small scale or cottage industry, just like papads and pickles, can be maintained or can be developed with the growth of mushroom? Because it is a low cost investment because we are using the waste material, and management is very simple of Pleurotus as compared to other mushrooms. And why we eat mushroom, that is the another thing, because mushroom, they are full of nutrients. It's very good, it's very healthy to eat, but most of the people thinks that it is meaty in flavor and fleshy in nature, so they avoid to eat mushroom. But they are full of nutrients. They are antibiotic, anti-cholesterol, anti-cancerous in nature. They are immunity boosters. So many things can be obtained. They have high fiber content. Then indigestibility problem can also be solved with the eating of mushroom. And it have 2 times more protein than vegetables and 4 to 12 times more protein than fruits. They are full of water and low in fats. 0.1% fat is present in the mushroom, so it is very good for heart patients. They can eat it, and rich in protein, so the diabetic patient also can consume mushroom. Bioactive compounds are present in it. It can be used for the cure of Parkinson and Alzheimer's disease. So many uses of mushroom is there, so we can eat. It is a low calorie diet. Presently, we are concentrating on the functional foods, ready to eat, ready to cook. Then mushroom is the alternate of that, because it is a low calorie diet, it is full of nutrients. Then we must eat mushroom, and especially Pleurotus. Then edible mushroom, so many types. I am just going through so many types of edible mushroom. When we talk of mushroom, the button mushroom, it comes in our mind. We all are aware of Agaricus bisporus. Market is full of button mushroom, but there are other mushrooms also. Just like button, portobello, and bun mushroom is also there. This is the Auricularia auricula jade, and this was the first mushroom that was cultivated, and it is jelly-like in texture, and it is very soft and delicate, but it is full of nutrient. Then truffles, that is a 5-star delicacy. They are ectomycorrhizal, and they are present below the ground. By snuffing with the help of dogs and pigs, searches can be made of truffles. Various type of truffles are there, and French people, they are obsessed of truffles. They can make various type of dishes, soups, and so many type of truffles are there. There is winter black truffle, Asian truffle, Chinese black truffle. This is cremini mushroom. It is just like button mushroom, and it is good for eating, baking, roasting, and stew. Then next is Boletus. Boletus is also edible mushroom, and it is also mycorrhizal in association. Difference in Boletus from Agaricus is gills are absent on the lower side of the fruiting body, and only fleshy part is there. This is Volvarilla, and commonly known as paddy straw mushroom. It is also full of nutrients. Sometimes it is confused with Amanita, because here you can see the vulva. Due to vulva, it is known as Volvarilla. But there are some other differences by which we can make difference between the poisonous and non-poisonous mushroom. Because in poisonous mushroom, spores, they are of white color, but in Volvarilla, they are of pink in color. Later on, it changes into black in color. Then only on the basis of vulva, we cannot differentiate between the poisonous and non-poisonous mushroom. This is other species of Volvarilla, Volvaceae. It is very common in India, and mostly it is grown in the Assam part of India, and it is commonly known as paddy straw mushroom there. Lentinula, shiitake mushroom, all over the world. Shiitake is the maximum growing mushroom. In USA, they are growing lentinula very much, but in India, we are growing only 4 to 5% lentinula. It's very, it's not common in India. Only agaricus mushroom is common in India. Then it is Canthrella. It is very beautiful, just like oyster mushroom, and it is sometimes confused with jack-o'-lantern species. They are also very delicious. Then portobellos. Portobellos, they are the large version of agaricus mushroom. It is very meaty in flavor, and when you cooked it, your whole of the home can be, or kitchen can be filled with the smell of meat, and it's very chewy or tight to consume. When you cook it portobellos, it is very not so good in eating. If you are non-vegetarian, then you will love portobellos. If you are vegetarian, then it's very tough to eat it. Enoki mushroom, this is thin needle-like mushroom. They are very cute in their looks, and generally they are used in soups and salads. Then morels, that is commonly known as morshella or guchi in India. Jammu Kashmir, in Jammu Kashmir, so many variety of morshella is growing, and now morshella is going to be get the GI position, but confusion is there ki which variety of the morshella will be given the GI. Next, porcini mushroom, penny bun mushroom, and they are also just like agaricus mushroom, creamy in texture. Now, these are the oyster mushroom or pleurotus, and various type of pleurotus species there. About 70 species of pleurotus is found all over the world, and among that only 10 to 12 species are very common that are in cultivated stages. And first time it were grown in during the World War in Germany. Then this is Erengi mushroom, or known as king oyster. This is the king oyster because pilus part that is full of flesh, and it is used during the cooking. And this is trumpet mushroom also. And it is very common in Europe, Middle East and North Africa. But in India, we are also growing now Erengi mushroom. This is pink oyster known as Pleurotus jammer, and only when it is growing, then it's of pink color. When you cook it, it becomes just like a normal oyster. The color vanishes, and it is chewy in nature. It is also very chewy, and it's a meat type. You can say it a vegetarian meat. This is blue oyster, Pleurotus columbinus, and it is very common in Colombia. This is pearl oyster, Pleurotus austratus. It is a common mushroom that can be grown all over the year. Whole of the year it can grow, austratus. Then yellow color mushroom, or you can say it golden mushroom, Pleurotus citrinopiliotus. Then nomenclature, on which criteria it was given the name Pleurotus, because it is spatula shape and the fruiting body that is going on the one side of the stipe. That's why it is known as Pleurotus, or it is meaty in flavor and just like oyster. That's why it is given the name oyster mushroom and Pleurotus mushroom. Then various common species of Pleurotus mushroom, as I already told, Pleurotus sajarkajo, Pleurotus austratus, Pleurotus florida, Pleurotus cystidus, Pleurotus citrinopiliotus, Pleurotus jammer, sapidus, and Erengi. Then this is the common life cycle of mushroom. As we all know, I am not going to discuss in detail because we all go through the in mycology, in Basidio mycota. We did all this thing, the cycle of mushroom. Then benefits. What benefits we can get by eating the Pleurotus? As it is a rich source of zinc and manganese, riboflavin, niacin, and as it is full of niacin, then essential amino acids, it is a bioactive compound and it is good for the health and muscle building and body building. Phosphorus is there, potassium, and as copper is there, so it is anti-diabetic in nature. Folate is present, then anemia can be improved by eating the Pleurotus. Beta carotene is there, and vitamin B6, vitamin D, vitamin less amount of A, but it is rich source of vitamin C also. Choline is also present. Then benefits, health benefits, it improves the strength, boost immune system, antimicrobial, anti-cancer, antiviral, rich in protein, fat-free, contains vitamin B, D, and A. And it is said that if fruiting body of oyster is exposed to UV light for 10 to 15 minutes, then amount of vitamin D can increase manifold. And this is a practical thing. It was told to me by the director of HAC. They are working on oyster, and they are meant for as a promotion for horticulturist. Then minimum iska use that investment is very minimum and returns they are very high. Health benefits I already discussed. This is in detail how we can be benefited by eating the oyster mushroom. It is anti-cancerous. Neurodegenerative disease also can be controlled with the help of Pleurotus, and heart health can be maintained with it as it prevents the sticking of blood to the vessel walls, and plaque formation cannot take place. So it protects the heart and maintain the blood pressure and circulation of blood in the body. Then this is the percentage of Pleurotus in India. In India, we are growing only 5 to 6 type of mushroom. Among that, white button mushroom, that is 73, oyster mushroom only 16%, and paddy straw mushroom is 17%, milky mushroom only 3%. So in oyster mushroom, that is only 16% in market. There is a lot of button mushroom now. We are thinking of the oyster mushroom. Then main states growing in India. Mainly it is initially northeast area was the main for the producer of Pleurotus, but improvement in the technology and awareness, now it is grown in Punjab and Haryana. Maharashtra is also growing it. Odisha is also growing Pleurotus, and other states are doing very less in the field of Pleurotus. They are growing basically button mushroom. When we see the scenario of world over about the Pleurotus, initially China was the main producer of Pleurotus, but now North America have become the main producer of Pleurotus, and they are doing $1 million business out of Pleurotus. Then these are the this is the picture of Pleurotus sajarkazo, which we grow in our department. This is Pleurotus florida that we also grow, and this is Pleurotus gemmer. These three types of Pleurotus we have grown in our mushroom house, and we have developed it under DBT Star scheme. The material that is required for the growth of Pleurotus, there can be a wheat husk or it can be a paddy husk. Whatever husk is available in the market can be used for the growing of Pleurotus. Then spawn of the oyster mushroom, PP bags, formalins, buckets, plastic sheets, scissors, rubber bands, cotton, hot water, tub, thread, mushroom house, thermometer, fogger, permanent marker, sprayer. These are the basic things that is required for the growth of mushroom or for doing mushroom cultivation. Different steps in the cultivation of oyster mushroom. It is a 3-step process: inoculation, incubation, and fruiting. Inoculation, incubation, and fruiting, 3 steps takes place for the cultivation of mushroom that we can do at the home also. Then this is the flow chart of the mushroom cultivation. First, compost formulation and preparation of compost. The compost preparation, it takes only 3 to 4 hours in case of Pleurotus, while in case of button mushroom it takes 35 to 40 days for the preparation of compost. What then, when you will make the compost, then you will spread. Later on I will tell you in detail how you can do it, but this is a flow chart to give you the idea how you can do the preparation for the cultivation or inoculation of the pleurotus. First, composting, then inoculation of spawn. Spawn is required. You can get it from any lab, or you can do it, you can grow it your own. There are so many institutes from where you can get the spawn. Then spawn will run on the husk, that is known as incubation period. After incubation period, fruiting formation takes place, and after fruiting, harvesting takes place. And after harvesting, you can do it marketing or anything. It's up to you where you can sell your mushroom. First, I will tell about the spawn, how we can make the spawn. Spawn, that is the seed of the mycelium, or just like seed as we grow for other crops. And same here, grains can be used for the making of spawn. And grain can be wheat, it can be sorghum, it can be rice. Cheap quality of rice can be used for the making of preparation. What you are supposed to do: first you boil the grain for 10 to 15 minutes. Then when it become little bit soft, then decant the water and spread it on some sterile surface. Then add 3% of calcium sulfate and gypsum, and after that mix it and fill it in the bottles, or you can fill it in the PP bags, and then sterile it for 20 to 25 minutes, and then take it out, and after cooling you can inoculate the mycelium in it, and that incubate the your PP bags or your bottles at 20 to 25 degrees centigrade in the incubator, and after 7 to 8 days you will get your own spawn. So this is the spawning part. You can use this type of flask, or you can do it in PP bags. Then composting part. When we did in the college, we use a large tub to soak our husk. First thing, the husk should be healthy, and it should not be of more than 3 to 5 centimeter in size. If your husk will be small in size, then air space will be less. If more bigger size of husk you will take, then there will be a gap between the husk, and nematodes will come there. First thing, husk must be fresh, free from dung or soil, and it should be from the authentic source, because the field in which more amount of pesticides will be used in the crop, then pesticide will come in the husk, and when we will grow pleurotus on the husk, that will come into the chain, because pleurotus is a part of bioremediation. They absorb heavy metals from the environment with the help of mycelium. So first thing, to procure a good quality of husk, it should be golden in color, not black or brown in color. Then soak the husk in hot water for 1 hour. Temperature of the water should be 60 to 65 degrees centigrade. You can cover it, or you can add routinely after 10 minutes hot water in it. Then after that, decant the water and spread the husk on a sterile surface. Surface must be sterile, and it should not be in the sunlight. It should be in the shade. Then after, if it is winter, then it will take 1 day to be dry, and if it is summer, then in 1 day before 1 day, or it is 8 to 10 hours. It will take 8 to 10 hours, then it will become dry. You can check it by taking the husk in your palm. You do it in this way, and if water is coming out from your backside of the palm, this means water is there and it need more drying. Moisture should be of 60 to 65% when you want to inoculate the husk. Next, this is the spawn. Then this is the process we use to do it in the lab. We spread the husk on the sheets. When it become dry or moisture is 60 to 65%, then we used to fill the bags. Bags that we were using of 33 3 to 18 centimeter of size. And before using that, sterilization should be proper, area should be sterilized, your hand must be sterilized, and bags also be sterilized properly with the help of formalin. Then you can put the husk in the bags, can press it, and then can add spawn on it. 10% spawn is used if you are using 1 kg spawn for a bag, husk for a bag, then 10 gram spawn is used. You can spread a handful of spawn on the substrate, then put another layer, then put the substrate, then put another layer, and then put the substrate, and it should be properly pressed. If it will not be properly pressed, then bag will be tore off when you will make some holes in it. So pressing must be proper. This method is known as layering method. When you are doing it in layers, that is known as layering method. But you can do it in thorough, in whole of the husk you can add the spawn, and then you can fill it in the bags. But that takes time to grow, because in layers the mycelium grow fast than the thorowing method. Then after that is known as incubation. When your bags are full tightly, you have to tie it tightly with the help of first rubber band and then with the thread, so that there can be no air from the outside. And you can make small holes in the bag with the help of sterile scissor or knife. Then incubate it in the incubator at 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. Sorry. This I did at my place in the Almira. This was my experiment at home first, and the mycelium came because dark condition is required. Light is not required while making the mycelium on the substrate. Temperature must be 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. That is the main thing. If temperature will not be proper, condition will not be proper, mycelium will not run on the substrate. After 20 or 30, or you can mention your name or date and species, which species you are growing on the bag and who is doing work on it, and the day on which date you are doing it, so that you can have idea before how many days you do the inoculation part. When this type of growth takes place in the bags, all white with the mycelium, it's pure, then fruiting body comes there. This type of pinheads come there. Now it's time to shift it into the mushroom house. Within 3 to 4 days, the fully grown mushroom will be there. This type of fruiting body you can see after 3 or 4 days. And during fruiting formation, condition must be proper, light is required, ventilation must be there, humidity must be 85 to 90%. Regular spraying must be there. If condition will be there, because 3 things must be there for the growth of mushroom: your substrate, your spawn, your environment. Substrate must be healthy, it should be free from infection, and then spawn, it should be of good quality, from the authentic source you can obtain your spawn. And after that, environment is very much required. It should be clean, healthy, sterile, free from insect, and proper ventilation, sunlight can be there, and moisture. For maintaining the moisture, 85 to 90% moisture is required, and then thermometer to see the temperature regularly, because 12 to 20 degree temperature is required for the fruit formation. Different species have their different requirement during the fruiting formation. As in case of jammer, 30 degree temperature. Its life cycle is also very long. It generally takes 30 to 40 days to form the fruiting body. And temperature requirement is high, that is of 30 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, all other grows up to 12 to 20 degrees centigrade. Ostratius that can grow at height all over the year, and then आपका Sajar Kajo that can grow in summer. And temperature requirement for it is high temperature. It can never grow on low temperature. It's required 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. For fruiting, you can do two ways. Either you can hang your bags on a pole with the help of tugger, or this is our mushroom house that we maintain under the DBT star scheme, and or you can place it on the bamboo stands that we are using, bamboo stands for the growth of mushroom. These are initial fruiting bodies, and at maturity it is of this type. And while plucking, you have to take care from the base part. You can twist the fruiting body and then you can pluck out the fruiting body. And you have to take care. It should be, when you are doing the plucking part, it should be in an open basket. If you will put in polythene bags, then you can see the breaks. Breaks are there in the mushroom. So it should be avoided. If it is there, then it deteriorates the quality of mushroom. The price you will not get good quality of it is do not comes under the good quality of mushroom. And this is the mature mushroom. Before mature, we have to pluck it when it is white in color. This means when it is become brown, this means that the mushroom have become mature. But this is the proper stage when we are supposed to gather the mushroom or pluck the mushroom from the bags. This is king oyster in basket. Then how we can preserve the mushroom? The mushroom can be, because the shelf life of mushroom is only 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in freezer or refrigerator at proper temperature. Otherwise in open it shrivels. Then you can preserve it by drying. Drying, it can be oven drying, sun drying, vacuum drying, or cool drying. Refrigerator, you can dry them in refrigerator also. Then canning can be there, or they can be preserved in the vinegars also. That is the, or you can, while you will send it or give it to the other person, then packaging can be there. Generally we get in the market in the thermocol plates, but it should be avoided because that is not environment friendly. But we are getting in this form also in the market. As Pleurotus is not common in the market, I have never seen it in the market. Only in 5 stars in soups we can see it here only. Then you can do packaging in this way. In paper bags with plastic lining, you can do the packaging of the mushroom, and you can preserve them in buckets also. Ice buckets with the covering with the proper polythene sheet. You can do the packaging in that way also. Or in the brine. This is about the agaricus. Then when you are growing mushroom, in which way you can use these mushroom? You can prepare the vegetables. You can make shahi mushroom, butter mushroom, or you can make fritters. You can make sandwiches. You can make Chinese dishes, or in dry form you can make the powder, and that can be used in the form of soups. And these days papads are also available. You can make pizza. You can other things also. It's up to you. And I make this salad also out of by using the oyster mushroom. All these are my personal that I tried at my place, but other things are also available in the market. You can make soup also, and even oyster sauce is also available in the market. So many things can be prepared with by the Pleurotus, because but we have to set our mind to eat the oyster, because in look it looks like meat. So generally it is known as a vegetarian meat, but it is full of nutrients, so we have to eat it. Then how we can sell our Pleurotus. There are different steps: mushroom grower to agents, agents to retailer, and retailer to consumer, or grower to wholesaler, then commission agent, and then consumer, or mushroom grower, retailer, and then consumer, or grower can directly supply it to the consumer. Even the farmer markets, that is also available, where you can sell your Pleurotus. And in hotel industry, there it is a 5-star delicacy, and the growers, they are supplying directly to the hoteliers or restaurant persons. Then what government is doing, or what we can do for the promotion of oyster mushroom, as button mushroom market is there, but there is no market of oyster mushroom. So grower must contact to each other, as it will help to promote their market, or government is taking so many initiatives for the promotion of mushroom. There is so many society is there, committees are there that is doing work in the promotion of mushroom. Then HNMH, that is Horticulture Northeast Hilly Area agency, that is supporting the farmers by providing, they are giving subsidy. They can be even 50% or 30%, that depends upon the cost, or and then they are giving finances for making their units. Just a small formal agriculture consortium is there, NABARD is also there, they are working on it. Even Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana is also there, and they all are giving money for the farmers, or to industrialists, or to private sector and public sector. But we are not aware of all these things. Awareness is must, so that we can use that facility that government is doing. Even in villages, they are giving subsidy, and they are giving free of cost spawn to the farmers. Then common diseases of mushroom, that is a inky cap disease, that is very common in mushroom. Trichoderma disease can be there, white plaster disease is there, green mold disease caused by trichoderma, pinky disease that caused by verticillium, dry bubble disease that caused by dactylostelium, and fly can also be there. If fly will be there, that can deteriorate the quality of mushroom. And even nematodes comes in the husk, that also eats whole of the mycelium, then our whole of the experiment can be deteriorated. This is wet bubble disease. Then control measure, how we can control the disease. Ventilation, it should be proper. If ventilation will not be proper, if carbon dioxide content will be will be there, and oxygen will be less, then what will happen? The stipe part will be long, and the upper spatula part, or the pilus part, that will be very less. Then it will deteriorate our quality of mushroom. So ventilation must be proper. Healthy air must be there. We can put some unit to purify the room. Then filters must be there to make the room free from the flies. And disease compost must be separate out timely. And if more infection is there, then spray of formalin can be there. And the room when you are growing, where you are growing the mushroom, the fresh air must be there, because so many spores, they comes out from the Pleurotus fruiting body, and while you go there, you can inhale that, and that it can cause asthmatic disease to you if ventilation will not be proper in the room. So ventilation must be there, sun must come there. It cannot be in a closed room, or in some shabby type rooms cannot be used for the growth of Pleurotus. Then in market, this ready-made kit, you can use this kit and can grow mushroom at your place. And this is medicinal mushroom, Ganoderma. Most of the work these days is going on Ganoderma because it is medicinally, it is used in anti-cancer and commercially available in the market in the form of Rishi. And herbal tea is also available, herbal coffee is also available of Ganoderma in the market. This is other species of Ganoderma. Then this is another medicinal mushroom commonly known as lion's mane mushroom, or botanically it is known as Hericium. It is lot of work is going on the Hericium because it is anti-cancerous in nature. In Japan, lot of work is going on Hericium because they are trying to use as a herbal drug against the cancer, so that one can be saved from the chemotherapy, because the side effects of there when you go under the surgery. But lot of research is going on Hericium. And this is Cordyceps. Cordyceps, this is also a very costly mushroom. It is also anti-cancerous and anti-diabetic in nature. By growing mushroom, one can earn a lot of money because the cost of 1 kg cordyceps is 3 to 4 lakh in the market. If any person get 1 gram of it, that is very good for him. Any patient suffering from the cancer, and in market it is available under the name of cordycepin. Then in conclusion, I can say the developed country, they are growing lot of mushroom and it is coming under the horticultural crops. Then we can aware our farmers, our students, they can grow it and they can use it. They can grow it at small scale. They can help in giving the employment to our young generation. Even it can help in women empowerment. And the husk problem that can also be solved, that agriculture waste the farmers are burning, then air pollution can be due to there, but that can be used. The countries which have large amount of agriculture waste, that they can grow a large amount of pleurotus or oyster mushroom. They can use their waste material, and from the waste they can generate the wealth. Then mushroom, they are used for the cooking, and one must think of eat mushroom. First we eat mushroom because we are in a habit not to eat mushroom. Even some people, they are not in habit to eat the button mushroom, but pleurotus, it in looks just like a meat, and after cooks it looks just like meat. So many people, they are not liking it, but we have to set up our mind to eat the mushroom. And one and two things I can say: never eat the wild mushroom, because we don't know from where they are growing, because in the soil, if contamination is there, heavy metals is there, any harmful thing is there, that is absorbed by the mycelium and it grows into the fruiting body, and when you eat, so poisoning takes place. It's very common that you cannot eat the mushroom because poisoning takes place. If you will eat wild mushroom, then it causes poisoning. Never pluck mushroom from the woods, because you are not sure about the substrate. And substrate is the main thing on which you are growing it, because that is the part of bioremediations. Then I can say we can grow mushroom. It will help in generating employment to our youngsters, and we can also do it and eat mushroom and grow mushroom. This is was the pick of our training which we gave to our students, and I am thankful to my principal ma'am and Renu ma'am, that is subject coordinator, because we are doing all these things under the DBT Star scheme. They are always a support to me. Thank you. In last, we can say grow mushroom, eat mushroom, and we can generate wealth out of waste, because mushroom, they are miniature phytonutrient factory. They are full of nutrients. So eat mushroom and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajni.
Thank you so much, Rajni. There's a question by